what did you learn about selling your MSP, and when was that something that you had to start thinking about?
So I talked about the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program. And so the very first day we talked about exit planning. And the reason why, and I remember this clearly to this day, and it's something, a phrase that I absolutely love now, start with the end in mind. Day one, I realized I was not in the right business and we needed to sell it. I had built a business that was more so out of survival and necessity, less so about what I wanted out of life. Let's go ahead and start over. And so I sold that first business. The second business, now knowing that I should start with the end in mind, I built it completely differently. I read a book called Built to Sell. That gave me a lot of the foundational aspects that I really needed to look at when building the business. And it wasn't that I had the goal to sell, but I really wanted to keep in mind the fact that I was building a business that should be of value to someone else, not to me. Because really being in business is not about you, it's about who you serve. And that led me to putting processes in place, documenting everything along the way, making sure that my books were in a certain way, in a way that a potential buyer may see as more valuable. And I had no plans to sell my business. Really, my plans were to grow it into a national platform. But life happens. What helped during that time was the fact that I had built the business to sell ultimately. Thankfully, the way that everything was set up and things like that, not only was it valuable to somebody else, but it was, I'm not going to say easy because it's never easy to transition, but for the most part, we were very clear as to what our values were, what our purpose was, who our customer base was. And so having all of these things in order made the conversations of who can I sell to much easier. So I would say the moment that you're thinking about starting a business, start thinking about the exit, because whether or not it happens or it happens the way that you plan, it's just easier if you get it all done at the very beginning and not have to go backwards.